Martin, welcome to Chesterfield. Why have you come to the Pro Act?
I met the owner on Saturday morning. I got a phone call on Friday afternoon. Come up here and I had a chat with him for an hour. He told me about his vision for what he wanted from the football club, what he's expecting. He told me everything that wasn't right. He told me all about his pigeons, and how he trains them and what he does with them. That was the hour up. And I shook his hand and went home. And my wife asked me how it all went, and I said, well, I don't know. It's kind of. And then I knew they had other people to interview, and that was my interview done. And then I got a phone call Sunday night asking me to come up here today to do this and start the job. So that's how it all evolved.
It's a tremendous challenge in front of you because Chesterfield have been on a downward spiral for the past 3 seasons.
Why 3 seasons? I thought it was 2.
Well, you look at the season previous to that, and they just stayed up in League One. So compared to where they were 4 seasons ago, reaching the playoffs. Since then, it's been such a downward turnaround. So, why are you the man to change Chesterfield's fortunes?
I can understand how the supporters are unhappy. I think if I was one of them, I'd be unhappy. Double relegations, terrible, isn't it? When you get double relegation, something's seriously wrong in your club. That's not good. Double relegation. How do I change it? Well, first of all, we need to cut the amount of players that are here, because there's far too many players that are here. The financial commitment of outgoings is horrendous. That can't be allowed to happen. There's far too many players.
Were you surprised because I was looking at some figures today, and Chesterfield had more players play in League Two last season than any other club in the division. 44, I think, in the end. That is a hell of a lot of players.
Well, it's too many players. The cost of that is far too much. It's far too great. I prefer to work with 18 or 19 players, to be perfectly honest with you. You can only have 5 subs in this division. So, the other lads are going to be, what do they do? Why keep all of them? It's pointless, in my opinion. And if you take some of that money from all those players and add that to make better quality players, then I think you get a better team and a better squad. So that's something we'll be looking to do immediately. I'm sure that's got to be the first thing we need to do.
Yeah, you've started to look at the squad. The retain list came out earlier this week. 3 very experienced players who've been at Chesterfield for quite a while were let go. Ian Evett, Sam Hurd and Drew Talbot. Did that decision come from you?
No, I wasn't here then.
Did you have any impact on the retain list? I mean, I'm presuming they would have asked you during the interview process.
No, I wasn't here then.
Fair enough. So, in terms of going forward, a lot of players still in contracts. Is it a job for you to try and get some of those off of the wage bill in the next, 2 months or so?
We'll see. We'll have to have a chat with them. We'll have to have a chat. Some of them are away on holiday. I'm going to try and speak to each and every person before I go away and have a good chat with every player. I don't want to do it over the telephone. I want to see them face to face. So if I've got to travel around the country, I'm going to do that. Every one of them deserves that, and I will meet them and speak to them as quick as I can. And I'm not going to speculate about who and this and that, if and that. I'll speak to them, make decisions, and the supporters will be the first to know through the football club, and I'll do it.
Because it's widely known that someone like Chris O'Grady is the highest paid player that this football club has ever had. He only came down from the Premier League last season to play League 2 football, joining from Brighton. That is a big wage for anyone in League 2, your My National League, and is that, I know you said you won't speak about individuals, but, he's someone who I think the club have had to come out and spoken about and said they would want to see moved on.
As you rightly said, I will not speak about individuals. I'll put it out when I make a decision, and until then, ifs and buts and maybes I'm not interested in. Chris is a number of all the players I'll speak to, and as I said earlier, once I've made those decisions, I'll let you know.
What about having seen the core group of players on the final day of the season? Did you pick up anything during that final game from Chesterfield? Any players who you really want to see stay here? I mean, Ian did pick a core 11 of players who were under contract during that final game, so they are the players that you are going to have to speak to and possibly work with.
They are those players, yes. As I said a minute ago to the same question, I'm going to repeat myself because you've just repeated your question. Once I've spoken to the players, I will let you know what I'm going to do. And you've asked me that now for the third time.
Okay, in terms of players coming in, where did Chesterfield need to strengthen over this summer period?
Once again, you'll have to wait and see. We will have signings next week. Deals will get done. And as soon as they come in, I'm sure you'll be the first to know. Before that happens, I don't deal in ifs, buts and maybes. Could be this, could be that. We'll get the players in, and once that's done, bang, on to the next one.
Because the National League, it's going to be something very new for Chesterfield supporters. They've never experienced it. The transfer window remains open, of course, doesn't it, in the National League? So is there that clamour to get players in as soon as possible? You get to the end of the Football League season and you feel you need to get your business done sooner rather than later. But within
I don't know why they're expecting anything different, because it's no different. What's different? Game of football, 11v11, game of football, it's no different. It ain't no different. The name of it's different, that's the only thing. And that's people's mindset that says, oh, it's non-league. It's not non-league, nearly all of them are professional. They've got good stadiums, good grounds, good pitches, good coaches, good players. It's a very, very difficult league to win. There's nothing to fear on any supporters and nothing magic or different about it. It's just another division.
What about your style of football? What's the style you want to imprint onto Chesterfield Football Club?
Play to win.
Simple as, because they've been known as a footballing side, a passing side since the Paul Cook days, and I think the managerial appointments have tried to replicate that, but maybe that hasn't worked in League Two. You know, as you go down the divisions, it's not always pretty football that works.
Yeah, it can do. Yeah, it can do. Accrington played a fantastic brand of football. Really enjoyed watching them play on a small budget. But no, I don't buy into all this philosophy of this and play like Pep Guardiola. The team has to play to win.
Have you had a look at some of the youngsters here at Chesterfield? Have you had time to do that over the last few days? I mean, there's some very highly rated ones. Joe Rowley comes to mind, who's made an impact here. The academy seems to continue to bring players in to the first team. Is that something that you'll be continuing to do at Chesterfield?
Well, how would I have time? So I only started here about 15 minutes ago. So I don't see how I'd have seen any of the players playing in the last 15 minutes while I've been in there in that press room. So that's going to be pretty difficult. But the other players, I'll see them all in pre-season, and it doesn't matter how old they are. If I think they're good enough, they'll play. If they're not good enough, then they won't.
So, I mean, I only actually, some managers come and they've watched a load of stuff on Y Scout and videos and etc. etc. You're going to start as a fresh start, deal with the players as they come in for pre-season, and that'll be it from the off.
Well, no, that's quite a way off, isn't it? That's a different question. You said, have I already done it? And I only started 15 minutes ago. That's mission impossible. Will I do it before pre-season starts? Yes, I will. But that's all over the next few weeks. And when pre-season comes, we'll see how everybody does.
And are pre-season plans beginning to be put into place?
We start this afternoon. Okay?
Yeah, that's fine. And a message
Last
to the
question,
supporters,
then. Going on too
Martin?
long. Looking forward to seeing you all soon.